Simply connect.
This video demonstration will show the Cloudian Management Console, also known as CMC, for the new Cloudian Hyperstore 5.2 release. To begin, we will log in as the administrative user to get a cluster-wide view of the installation. Now that I am logged in, you will notice the new dashboard page for each cluster region. Starting on the left, you can see a pie chart showing the capacity of the cluster. The graphs on the right enable the administrator to see statistics such as transactions and throughput per second. Near the bottom of the page will show the current cluster health in terms of the number of alerts gathered from the nodes. The icons below will show you the number of users, groups, objects, node count, data centers, and the software version. The Analytics tab defaults to the Cluster Usage tab. This tab shows various region-specific details such as capacity consumption, object transactions per second, and the throughput per second. The Capacity Explorer provides a unique chart to analyze data consumption on a data center and region basis. The Usage Reports function of CMC allows administrators to generate usage reports or graphs for a group or user of the cluster. This will display storage bytes information for each user in the marketing group. Now let's generate a graph. Find Object allows administrators to examine which nodes contain a specific object. I will now perform a search for the file foo-tex in bucket MyData. Looking at the output, we can see file attributes for the objects such as creation time, size, and the nodes that contain the object's replicas. The Users and Groups section enabled administrators to create users and groups. To create a new group, click New Group, and then enter your group name, group description, and click Save. To add a new user, click New User, enter the user ID, select the group name, enter your password, confirm the password, and click Save. QoS allows you to set rate limits for storage and network traffic on a user, group, or cluster-wide level. After selecting Manage Users or Manage Groups, click the QoS Default button. You can assign warning limits and high limit values for storage quota count, request rate, data bytes in, and data bytes out. Rating plans allow you to set pricing limits for storage and data transfer rates on a user, group, or cluster-wide level. To add a rating plan, click Add Rating Plan, fill out the ID and name field, and select the rates to edit. Upon clicking the Cluster tab, the administrator can see each data center in each region. In this setup, Data Center 1 is in San Francisco and Data Center 2 is in New York. Clicking on a data center will show each node assigned to the data center. Hovering over a node will show performance characteristics. Clicking on a node will bring you to the node status page. From this page, we can view disks used, CPU utilization, and network traffic. Expand disk detail information, and you can view the disk usage. Expand memory usage, and you can see the heap usage for each component. Services status will show each service within the cluster. and if there are any errors, it will be listed in event lists. The cluster config defaults to the cluster information view. This section allows you to view cluster information such as software version, license expiration date, and which node has which critical service on it. The new Configuration Settings tab allows you to make system configuration changes without editing files manually on the command line. For example, let's change the Hyperstore compression type to Snappy. After clicking the Save button, the changes will be made on the Puppet Master, and each node will be updated with the change. The Auto-Tiering tab allows you to put in global S3 credentials to use for tiering objects from Cloudian Hyperstore to Amazon S3 or Glacier or another Cloudian Hyperstore cluster. The Storage Policies section allows administrators to assign data protection policies on a global or group basis. To show this new feature, let's create a new storage policy. Enter your policy name, followed by a policy description. Select EC within single data center, and select your erasure coding K&M value. Select your data consistency level, and select your metadata consistency level, and click Save. The Notifications section allows administrators to create alerts and email notifications when a specific event occurs, such as a service down or heavy resource utilization. A new feature in this release supports SNMP. An SNMP trap can be configured for each alert by clicking the Edit button. Now your SNMP trap has been enabled. The Repair Status section displays the current cluster repair operations and status. This is a very useful feature to have to examine repair history and what is currently happening on the cluster. If any errors are reported while running repair, they will be listed under Repair History. The Alerts tab will show you a cluster-wide view of new alerts and also allow you to view previously acknowledged alerts. Alerts can be easily acknowledged on every node by selecting All and clicking the Acknowledge button. Now I will demonstrate the Buckets and Objects tab as a regular user. The storage buckets are located on the left. To create a new bucket, click New. Next, enter a bucket name and select a storage policy for that bucket. We will select our erasure code policy that was created earlier. Finally, click Create. Buckets have many configurable properties. To adjust and view bucket settings, click the Properties button. Bucket permissions can be set for each grantee as either readable, writable, or both. Set CAN ACLs can be found here. Static website hosting and bucket life cycle rule. To upload a file to CMC, click the Upload File button. Click Add Files to select a file from your local computer. Click Start to begin the upload process. When the upload is complete, close the window. The newly uploaded file is now visible. Let's explore the properties available for the newly uploaded file. You can set general permissions for each grantee, either readable, writable, or both. Set canned ACL and public URL access. Users can obtain their S3 credentials to use with applications by clicking on their name and then select Security Credentials. To make it easier for the user, the endpoints and ports are listed below. Users can also change new access keys and create or delete additional access keys. This concludes our demo of the new Cloudian Management Console.